to the first gathering of Healing Energy Recipe post the holiday meals. So as promised, we're going to talk about the stomach channel, because who ate a lot of food this holiday season? Okay, Terry's shaking his head, so I don't know. Maybe, so good for you. It's really interesting because in traditional Chinese medicine, we say that grief is trapped in the lungs. And anybody know where the lung channel is located? Okay, so the lung channel is located in the arm, and in fact, it's the thumb. And who remembers where the large intestine channel is? Okay, but you pointed on the inside. But anyways, it's fine. The large intestine channel is on the yang side, and it's on the second finger. And why I am saying this is because a lot of the meridians in the body is like north-south, right? And so even though the large intestine channel is in the hand, traditionally when we treat constipation and diarrhea, we don't use the large intestine channel, we use the stomach channel. Same thing with grief, okay? So even though the grief is stored in the lungs, to treat grief, we actually use the stomach channel. So I want everybody to think about the toilet, okay? So if you remember nothing else from this class, the stomach channel shoots between the second and third toe. So whenever I work with a client who has a lot of grief, I lead them into a meditation where they're shooting the grief out between their second. So grief is the thing that I want everybody to remember. Now, in the 5 elements, the earth element is the spleen stomach, and it's associated with overthinking. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit about the relationship between overthinking and grief. So, okay, who knows who's the mother and who's the child between overthinking and grief? Thank you. Earth is the mother of metal, right? So for my more advanced 5 element students, really it's very important to understand the mother-child relationship, right? The mother-child relationship. So earth is the mother of metal. So overthinking leads to grief. So today I wanted to share a little bit, you know, there's a saying, dukkha. It's a concept of Buddhism. It says that attachment leads to suffering. Who's heard of that before? Okay, almost everybody has heard that attachment leads to suffering. Yes, Alchemist, yes, the grief is the child. Thank you. So let's break down this word attachment. What does attachment mean in the body? Anybody know? Okay, Jay says phlegm because maybe he looked ahead at the chart, but no? Okay. In the past 3 years. Okay, so when something is dry, does it stick? No. Think about honey and molasses. When something is, and what taste is honey and molasses? Sweet. So when we eat a lot of sweets, a lot of carbs, it's very comforting, isn't it? Right? The pizza, the pasta, and it's also sticky. Thank you. So sticky. Okay. So we are what we eat, as it turns out. So if we eat a lot of sticky food, then we're going to accumulate phlegm in the body. Now, obviously, in Chinese medicine, anything that doesn't belong in the body is considered phlegm. So it could be the things that come out of our nose. It also can be fat, fibroids, even cancer, in traditional Chinese medicine, before we had the word cancer, it's in the category of excess accumulation that doesn't belong. So this whole thing falls into the phlegm category. And just FYI, there is visible phlegm, like if I blow my nose, I have visible phlegm. And there's also invisible phlegm. Invisible phlegm, for example, if the invisible phlegm is misting my heart, then it's like mania, where I'm like crazy. So the stomach channel, because it addresses phlegm, it treats mania, it treats crazy. How many people here are crazy? Okay, I raised my hand on that one too. Okay, so at the body level, attachment looks like phlegm. So, pay attention if you want to lose a couple pounds, because the stomach channel obviously is very good for weight loss. Secondly, at the energy level. So energy is qi, and qi, when qi is stagnant, what do we experience? Pain. We experience pain. So actually, the stomach channel is so powerful that even people have stroke, they have atrophy, numbness, facial paralysis. Have you ever seen those people where one side of the face cannot smile, or one side of the eye cannot close? We can use, Bell's palsy. Okay, yeah. So we can use the stomach channel to treat a lot of paralysis. It's very powerful. Mind. Overthinking. So I think that overthinking about things in the past, present, and future, right? When I think about that person that I love in the past, then I have sadness. When I think about what I want but don't have in the present moment, then I have frustration. And if I think about something in the future, then that I don't have or that I don't want, that's like fear, right? So basically, overthinking, there's two kinds of situation. I want what I don't have, or I don't want what is offered. Anybody have some of these problems? Okay, yeah. So yes. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the function of the stomach. R. We got receive, ripen, and rotten. Does that make a lot of sense? So when I eat a banana, okay, so I always teach this to my acupuncture students. Which direction does the stomach chi go, up or down? Down, because when we eat a banana, we want the banana to go down, right? Okay, so when we eat a banana, we receive the banana. And then what happens is the banana sits in the stomach. It goes through this process of ripening, right? The banana sits in the stomach. And then there's also a rotting, a couple hours later, there's stomach acid. And then it turns into nutrition that hopefully we can absorb, like potassium, right? So here's the healthy state of the stomach channel. The stomach channel is abundant in qi and blood. So it's very, very powerful because the stomach channel has 45 points. It starts from the eyes and it passes through the nose. It circles the lips and actually goes through the upper gum and the lower gum. It goes through the face and into the ears and into the headache. So what that means is it can treat eye problems, nose problem, gum problems, facial paralysis, hearing problem, and also headache. Everything in the face. And then it descends down the SCM, which means if you have problem rotating the neck, you can use the stomach channel. And then it goes down the nipple line. So that's 4 twin on each side. So anytime you have breast problem, so, problem breastfeeding or any kind of heart problem, somebody who has a closed heart or a lung problem, because literally the river goes right through the lung. And then it comes in here, 2 twin off to the belly button. It goes through the stomach. So it's good for weight loss, nausea, right? Constipation. And then it also passes through the ovaries. So it even treats menstruation. And then it comes out into this outside part of the leg. So you can treat paralysis, atrophy, muscular pain, all the way down. And once we hit the bottom here, we can treat, again, anything where we want to drain, right? So remember, I talked about the channel when there is rebellious qi in the stomach channel. Which way is it going? Up, right? So that's why we have nausea, belching, pain, and also mania. If the Yangning channel is abundant and it's going up, that's a lot of trouble, a lot of overthinking, and a lot of crazy. And anybody ever experienced feeling craving, hunger? Okay, so craving and hunger is also because there is excess stomach heat. Yeah, so this addiction to overthinking and upset. Thumbs up if you can see the slides. Okay, okay. All right, so if you look, the stomach channel, it starts under the eye, right? It goes through the nose, and then it actually circles the lips, and it goes past the chin and past the ear and go up into the head. So stomach 8 is VIP point for headaches. And then it passes through the neck, and then, where the river flows is where the healing goes. So it literally goes through the lungs and then the heart, at the stomach. So we got weight loss, constipation. Now we're in the uterus down here. So the river just keeps going. And now this is the leg. So this point is kind of the root chakra. It goes down. So this is the lateral side of the leg, or any kind of atrophy in walking. Use this point channel for all stroke patients. Then we have, okay, so down to stomach 36 is a very famous point. Stomach 36 is basically the longevity point. So if you want to live a long, long life, this is it. And also, if you want to boost your immunity, stomach 36. Stomach 37 is what we use to treat constipation and diarrhea. So I call it the master detox point, because if my client is holding on to something, whether it's holding on to a grudge, holding on to somebody who, a divorce, a transition, lost a job, whatever, lost a cat, then this point, stomach 37, can be used to help let go. It's the let go point. So stomach 38 is the VIP point for frozen shoulders, right? So in Chinese, frozen shoulder is called 50jian. So especially for women over 50, a lot of them cannot raise the arm past the shoulder, right? So if you have difficulty raising the arm, then stomach 38 is actually really good for that. And now one of the really famous but secret point that you only know if you're an acupuncturist is stomach 40. So if you want to write this down, stomach 40 is the VIP point for phlegm. So of all the 14 channels in the world, stomach 40 is the phlegm point. So what that means is I always make the chicken soup analogy, right? So if I'm making a pot of chicken soup, I might throw in some carrot and celery and salt, pepper. So if the patient presents with any kind of attachment, I throw in stomach 40 because stomach 40 eliminates phlegm. And who is not a little bit crazy, right? Okay, so that's a really good point. So then we have stomach 41. It's really good point for opening the throat chakra. So this is also, I think everybody should write it down. So if you have a friend or anybody who has difficulty using their voice to speak, to sing, to serve, right? This any throat chakra issue, stomach 41 opens the throat. So also if you have COVID and you're coughing, stomach 41. So anything that's in the throat, you want stomach 41. And then we have stomach 43. So stomach 43 is my VIP point for draining all the grief from the body. So first, I usually do a diagnosis. Is this person sad and like a human being, or is like mania and crazy, right? Because if this person is mania and crazy, have a lot of pimples in the face, maybe they have bleeding gums, like a lot of heat signs, I use stomach 44. But if they're just sad and kind of quiet, and they've been sad for a long time, like 14 years. One time I had a client, she had nasal allergies for 14 years because she was sad about a divorce from 14 years ago, right? So this kind of sadness, I use stomach 43. Okay. So in summary, there's like two kinds of toilet. If they have crazy mania, pimples, and bleeding gums, like a lot of heat sign, and young, like if they're 20s, I'll use stomach 44. But if they're like in their 60s and they're sad and you don't really want to drain them, you just want to gently, have like a gentle flush, then stomach 43. So usually when in doubt, I just use stomach 43 unless they have red eyes, pimples, and excessive headache. Okay, so I would like to turn it over and ask you guys. You want to go back to the PowerPoint 1 second. So everybody kind of pay attention. Yeah, that's good. I want to, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Can you see my PowerPoint? No? Okay. Can you do your magic? Okay. All right. So here's the menu for tonight. So I'm going to ask everybody to tell me what's going on with them. So in the stomach channel, we got eyes, right? Nose, face and cheeks, gums, it's actually funny. So sometimes I brush my teeth and then there's blood. I'm like, oh my God, did I do a bad job brushing my teeth? Do I need to go see a dentist? And I realized I don't have a teeth problem. I have a stomach channel problem. I needle my stomach channel and like the next day the teeth bleeding, the gum bleeding is gone. So it actually does work. And I also have clients who come to me whenever they have pimples because the stomach channel goes through the face. So if you have pimples, that's really like a really good thing. Okay, so it passes through the ear, throat, right? Stomach 41. intestines, so stomach 37. And then it passes through the upper, middle, and lower jiao. So it goes through the lungs, the heart, the chest, epigastrium, stomach, spleen, uterus, and bladder. So everything pretty much in the front of the body. Stomach 36 for longevity, so it can tonify qi, blood, yin, and yang. And it treats acute and chronic disorder of the breast and disturbances of the spirit, especially mania or depression. So I don't know if anybody knows somebody with depression. This is what you want. All right. So worry. I'm going to say that for worry, I have two places that I really like to put my hands. The first place is, can they see me? Okay. So the spleen stomach, you know, if we talk about the chakra system, is the third chakra. So it is located between the belly button and the tip of the sternum. So all this area. So our inner child, if you're connected to your inner child, often is sad and scared. And what is a safe space for the inner child to hide is inside the rib cage. So, you know, a lot of times when we feel unworthy, we're not, maybe we're disempowered, we're scared. So I like to comfort my inner child by putting one hand over here and one hand over here. So this covers my spleen, stomach, and liver, gallbladder. So yeah, so when I feel worry, I either do this to soothe my inner child. And then there's one more that I really like to do. I really like to put my hand in my groin area. So this is the root chakra, and I tell you why, because stomach 30 is here. Stomach channel, stomach 30, the Chinese name is Qi, Chong. Qi means energy, Chong means rushing. So the gate of Qi is here. So a lot of the times when we have a lot of worry, it's hard to take a step forward. You know, like we feel like, oh my God, what's my future gonna look like? I feel like stuck. I can't move, right? So when I turn the stagnation in this stomach 30 point into regular flow, then I can dance again, right? So yeah, so those are my suggestions. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so I'm gonna start with, actually I'm gonna ask Jay to lead a simple warm up, just warm up the spine. And then we're gonna do a stomach channel meditation where we're gonna go from stomach 1 all the way down. But let's move some chi and blood.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for your patience as we have some minor technical issues. So I like to do a lot of twisting. It's really good for me personally, my constitution. So why don't we start off by just twisting our spine and tapping our kidneys, waking our kidneys up. Just allow your arms to freely swing And you'll find that your hands just naturally tap on your kidneys when you're snoring. Allowing some energy flow kidneys. You know, we're talking about stomach, but I'm a little bit afraid. Kind of tap your kidneys. Okay, just gently allowing it to come to rest. And now we're gonna swing our arms, 2, 3, 4, and dip on 5. 5, 1, 2. Just dip that chi out to our extremities. 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now let's give some big hip circles. Get the base of our spine loosened up. Just gentle, wide circles. And if you're like me, hips will pop a little bit. Good. A little bit. I think it's adorable because I've only ever heard like 2-year-olds say lot bit. And reverse direction. Plenty of flexibility and space. Get into the base of your spine. And let it gently come to center. Let's roll our shoulders forward just a few times. Loosen up the shoulders there. Upper back. And now the other direction. A few times. Okay, I'm going to do this one because I think to let it come to center, I think it'll be really good for us. So you're gonna bend your knees and squat a little bit. Put your hands on the insides of your legs, and then you're gonna do what in yoga we call cat-cow. So you're gonna inhale as you allow your chest to come forward and your spine to curve, and then exhale. And then this is the cat where you make a curve in your spine, open the back of your heart. Inhale, cow. Exhale into cat, and now just let yourself go at your own pace, whatever feels good. I really need this at the moment. My heart is a little closed, my back is a little tight. I hope you are enjoying it as well. Do one more.
Yeah.
You can meow if you want. All right, and then we'll end with neck circle. So just gently allowing your head to fall forward. Slowly let your right ear, shoulder, around back. Left ear, left shoulder. Just make a big circle, but gentle. Listen to all the snap, crackle, pops that happen inside. A lot bit for me. I don't know about you. And then reverse direction. Good. Gently allowing your neck to loosen. Throat to open. Good. Calming the center. Just one more. Just shake everything. All right, good. Now you're loose. Oh, we got you coming. I guess when he's really enjoying shaking. So let yourself just go crazy. Be a jackhammer. Do your best tap dance imitation. Wiggle your butt.
processing a lot of emotions. I'm going to invite anybody who wants to share any worry, sadness. I think Altamis, Kamari, and Angie, anybody else in the audience, Jay, you want to share something like what's coming up for you? Because I think that that's a really good way of opening the throat.
I really feel the urge to isolate. I want to be alone. I'm not sure why. Just that's how I'm feeling. That's all I really have to share.
Oh, so Altamis says same, Jay. Okay, so we have some desire to be alone. Okay.
She feels old emotions, things that are coming up that are bringing sadness, feeling used or unseen by people.
Okay, so this is a really good one. I'm gonna take a seat and talk. To repeat what she said, but rephrase it in the energy healing world is we don't control the external environment, right? We don't control if Russia or Ukraine goes to war. We don't control what's going on in Gaza. But what we do get to do is master our internal environment, where if we can practice Qigong, practice meditation, open our spiritual self, when we cultivate the love, peace, and harmony inside our body, right? We every day we have a choice of whether we show up to cultivate, right? So in a way, it's irrelevant what's happening in the external environment when we can't control it. But what we can do is show up every day with our own cultivation. When we cultivate the righteous chi, or you know work on being of the greatest love, the greatest light, and we can share that into the world. Right. So
He's going to comment on Terry's addition to the comments, to the chat.
I invite everyone to close their eyes and sit with a tall spine. So if you're sitting on the chair, legs are 90 degrees, no crossing the legs, and feel all 5 toes firmly planted onto the ground. If you're sitting cross-legged, then make connection, maybe rock your pelvis back and forth a little bit until you find the center or your Huiying acupuncture point. Run one and just say hello to your root chakra. And imagine that you're a tree and planting your roots deep into Mother Earth. And stack your spine one vertebrae on top of another. And see, turn on your internal gaze and look inside your body. And with my medical intuition turned on for our collective, I also invite you to turn on any empowerments or light treasures that you may have. And we'll just shine the love and light for each other. This reading is for the collective. So what I see is blockages on the stomach channel on the left side, especially in the stomach 30 area. So the stomach 30 is located at the groin. And it's the junction between our body and our limb. So the left side is the feminine side. The feminine side is acceptance. And so I invite you to maybe put your left hand on the groin and your right hand on the left rib cage. So imagine that A and B, the left rib cage and the left groin, are two best friends. Imagine that we've been self-abandoning and self-sabotaging because we're scared we've been collapsing. So I want you to see if you can imagine that your two hands are going further and further apart. That with every breath, you're creating length on the left side of the body. That your feminine is as important as your masculine. A lot of the times when some unexpected events happen in our life, maybe it's an accident, maybe somebody passed away, we don't know what to do. At this time, we turn into our feminine energy. The feminine receives. So bless ourselves and each other into the left rib cage and the left groin. And feel that your inner child is being held and comforted by the collective. You might feel some parts of you getting warmer. You might feel flow between your two hands. And now we're going to move the one hand, the right hand onto the groin, and then we're going to put the left hand onto the lateral side of the thigh. So if this is my knee, okay, this is my kneecap. So from we call this the ASIS, but it's basically the part, when you do this, you feel this bone sticking out. So if you draw a straight line between this lateral part of your knee and the lateral part, this hip bony part, about midway closer to the knee. So this part is where we can actually impact the lung. So a lot of us talk about letting go of old emotions, shackles, right? So let's keep the right hand on the inner child. So that's the left rib cage. And we're going to put the left hand on the outside of the left thigh. And we're just going to breathe here, connecting the left hand and the right hand. Sending love for ourselves and to each other. And bring your awareness to this area underneath your left hand. Is it cold? Is it stiff? Is it numb? How would you describe the sensation? So bring that to your awareness and observe the changes and breathe. Mentally, just say hello to your old patterns. You're my old stories, old identities. You're the shackles that kept me small and dim. I love you and thank you for keeping me safe. I don't need you anymore. And with love, see if you can bring a lot of love into this area. And realizing that grief shows us how much we love and that we can redirect this love into other new projects and new people. Wow. Do you feel that change? I felt that shift immediately. When I gave myself the order to redirect the grief into new people and new projects, my leg came alive, the chi and blood restored. Okay, so we're going to keep going down. So now we're going to put the left hand and the right hand. If you like to bend down, you can bend down, or you can cross your legs and do this, whichever way, but we're going to cup it just below the knee, right? So the inside is the spleen channel, the outside is the stomach channel. So they're kind of like husband and wife. So remember that on this outside, we have stomach 36, so that's the longevity point. I don't know, remember if who asked for longevity. So stomach 36 can tonify qi, blood, yin, and yang. So if you're deficient in any category, basically, if you're over 18, you can tonify some of this most of the time if you don't have excess heat. And so we're just going to cup the left side and the right side together because the spleen and stomach, they work together. So whichever formation, whether you cross your legs or you bend over, make sure your spine is still tall. So see if you can relax the toes when you bring love to this area. Perfect. Now we're going to move one hand distance down. Okay, so, if I measure 4 fingers together, I'm going to put one hand down. Okay, so put one hand down. So now we have the next set of points. Stomach 37 is for letting go. Remember, so that's actually for, in the body, it's for diarrhea and constipation, but for energy, it helps us let go, right? So, and on the spleen side, we actually have points that help us connect to Mother Earth, right? So if we want to connect to Mother Earth and let go, this is like double whammy. So just cup it and breathe and enjoy. Notice if one side is cold and one side is hot. What is the quality under your hands? Is there any stickiness? Hesitation? So if you feel any hesitation or stickiness, A, you can change your diet and eat less carbs and less sweets. B, you can just use your brain less, think less. Actually, it also includes less computer time, less screen time, less reading, just less brain. Okay, now we're gonna move our hand one more time down. So now we're covering stomach 40, right? So anybody got phlegm? Want to lose weight? Yeah, so phlegm can also cause dizziness. So if you've ever had dizziness spell, it could be because of excess phlegm. So just breathe here. And now we're gonna move our hand down one more time. So now we're just above the ankles. And covering the ankles, we have stomach 41. So that's giving ourselves the permission to be authentic, to speak our truth. Any kind of throat issues, speaking issues. Wow. I felt a huge opening. Wow. I feel a lot of stomach 41 opening. So that's really good news for you guys and me. Because I am you and you are me. What I feel, there's a lot of heat, a lot of shackles, like a lot of voices have been suppressed in this group. There's so much heat here that is being released. Let's see, stomach 41 is going to be the winning point tonight. There's a lot of stuff here. So we're just going to be patient, keep sending love. This feeling unseen and taken advantage of, that could also be stomach 41. This is like, this is the part where if it is, the qi and blood is flowing, then we are shining brightly. So any experiences of nobody cares, people just use me, I feel unappreciated, unseen, that's all stuck here, stomach 40. Dear my stomach 41, I love you. You have the ability to heal yourself. Please do a good job. Wow, that was a huge opening. Wow. 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 Okay, I feel like we can just sit here forever until 2024. We're just gonna like open up more and more of our service here. We're gonna be shining brighter and brighter. Really great. Okay, so moving on to the next point, I'm gonna put one hand on the top of the foot and one hand on the bottom, right? So now we're covering stomach 43. So, you know, the grief on the top, and conveniently on the bottom we have kidney 1. So any fear, let's just cup that. The relationship between grief and fear is that grief is the mother of fear, right? When we have lost something we love, we experience pain of separation. So then that turns into fear because we don't want to experience that pain again. So when we let go of grief, we will also naturally have less fear. Because if we let go of the painful experiences of separation, then we will take more risks. Actually, I feel that in this place, our ankles are actually getting more mobility. How. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. So before we read more comments, Jay, do you want to do a flow or share some of the experiences you have when we did the Stomach 41? Oops.
Wow, thank you, Winnie. Yes, I felt a big release when we asked the stomach 41 to open, and it really freed me. I feel like there have been things, not only that things that I haven't been saying, but haven't even been allowing myself to think them. So that's interesting. And now I can see a whole realm of my experience that I couldn't. So thank you for that. Here's a message from Mother Mary. My dear children, this time of year brings up in many sadness, loneliness, a feeling of
unmet expectations and a certain melancholy, sometimes because loved ones who shared this time with you in the past are no longer here, sometimes because all of the love and joy that this season once brought is not showing up for you this year. I honor you, your sadness and your grief and your pain. Understand that these are signs of your love. Yes, your love sometimes goes unmet. Yes, sometimes you feel for someone who is no longer there or can no longer reciprocate your feeling. There is beauty in honoring your feeling. There is beauty in opening your heart even to this. And as I, in my spirit, enter the back of your heart in this moment, feel how your love expands. Feel how treasured your ability to receive love. Focus here for a moment on your ability to receive. Understand that it is as much a gift as your ability to give love. And dare yourself to allow it to expand. Allow your ability to receive the love of the divine. Allow the motherly love that I impart to enter. Cleanse. Feel it expanding so large that it expands past your chest, expands up into your throat, and down into your stomach. Feel it entering your genitals and your skull. Feel it loosening the tensions you have in your shoulders and your neck. Feel the smile that I bring into your heart in this moment. Feel the wings of love expanding out the back of your heart. And let yourself float for a moment. And watch with curiosity where that floating takes you. What do you see? What do you experience? What do you feel? Allow the healing to fully take hold in your stomach, in your back, in your neck, in your chest. And as the love settles back into your heart, take a moment gratitude for your ability to receive love.